Shabbat Shalom. We welcome those watching us online, and we wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And we're glad that those people in our congregation, along with our choir, is able to celebrate Shabbat. It's a weird feeling to be in this sanctuary. I'm sure a weird feeling for you to be at home celebrating Shabbat. But one thing I do know is that we are a strong community, and in times that might be scary or uncertain, we can also take a moment to reflect on what we have and the people that are around us, the people in our homes. And so I ask you to turn to someone. You can wave at them, you can give them a fist bump, you can text them and say, you can text them if you're in the congregation as well. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Let them know that you are caring about them, that you are thinking about them as well. And so to begin our Shabbat service, I begin with a prayer of hope during this pandemic by Rabbi Naomi Levy. We are frightened, God, worried for our loved ones, worried for our world, helpless and confused. We turn to you, seeking comfort, faith, and hope. Teach us, God, to turn our panic into patience and our fear into acts of kindness and support. Our strong must watch over for our weak. Our young must take care of our old. Help each one of us to do our part to halt the spread of this virus. Send strength and courage to the doctors and nurses in the front lines of this battle. Fortify them with the full force of their healing powers. Send wisdom and insight to the scientists working day and night across the world to discover healing treatments. Bless their efforts, God. Fill our leaders with the wisdom and the courage to choose wisely and act quickly. Help us, God, to see that we are one world, one people who will rise above this pandemic together. Send us health, God. Watch over us. Grace us with your love. Bless us with your healing light. Hear us, God. Heal us, God. And together we say, Amen. We turn to the words of in our Siddur, in our prayer book. If you're watching online, we sent a link to a virtual prayer book that you can use to page 138 for the words of L'cha Dodi. We'll welcome the Sabbath bride by singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the final verse, we'll rise, face our sanctuary doors, or face your doors, as we welcome the Sabbath bride. You to be seated. Our community is extremely lucky because tomorrow we have two wonderful B'nai Mitzvah that will be called to the Torah. So it's my honor to invite up Savannah and Josh with their moms and dads to light our Shabbat candles, and that can be found on page 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all the people, so may we let our lives give light to all the world. As the brightness reminds us in the day to the day, with the light, so may we in our day be in the light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
We continue on page 123. We rise for Kiddush, as Savannah and Josh lead us.
Yom Tehillah, Levikraye Kodesh, Ve'er Tzidkah, Mitzrayim, Tiranu B'Marta, Ve'otanu Ichasta, Nikorami,
Please be seated. Josh and Savannah, I want to give you a special blessing this Shabbat. This is a special blessing from one of the programs that we do through Moving Traditions. And I say today and tomorrow is your B'nai Mitzvah. And it's a day of celebration. It is not the day you and your family envisioned and planned for. We are so sorry, because that's what we all wanted it to be. But your Torah will be no less wise in this sanctuary than in the full sanctuary you planned for. Your prayers will no less resonate and be as powerful live streams or FaceTimes or shared with those family members in the sanctuary tomorrow. Our tradition values a minyan, and as you know, But our sages also teach us that the divine presence is present whenever Torah is shared, even between two people. Tomorrow you will be an adult in our Jewish tradition. And over these days and weeks, you have had to face the upside-down challenge of the moment in a way that many adults are struggling with. And you have done it. You have held disappointment, fear, and uncertainty, and the pain of broken dreams. This is not the part of being an adult your community plans to impart to you tomorrow, but it's part of being an adult. You know how to connect without touching someone more than many adults do. You know how to create joy wherever you are. You also know how to help others and name the big changes we need to make in our world. You will help us to do better than we have these past few weeks and months and years. You and your friends in your generation are going to do better at solving global problems. You will have to, and we believe you both have what it takes. I want to wish you mazel tov to you and your family. Know that your family and friends, those who are near, those who are farther away, the ones that want to celebrate with you today and tomorrow, are thinking of you. And our Jewish community and our world is welcoming you in with jazz hands, because we're not giving you high fives instead, by appropriate distance, but most importantly, with an abundance of pride and joy. So we wish you a hearty mazel tov, and we can't wait to see what you're doing tomorrow and celebrating this special day. We continue our service on page 144 with the Hatzi Kaddish. Amen. Please rise. We read together at the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of life. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of life. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Arabi. Please be seated.
Asher Anuki Mitzavecha Hayom Ad Vavecha Neshimatam Levanecha V'dibarta B'ham V'shivtecha B'teitecha U'lechtecha B'derech U'shoktecha U'flumecha Ushartam leot ayatecha, v'ha'ila totafon ve'yechem, u'ktamtam, am mitzvotecha, u'lisharecha, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם לכל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים אליהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Continue with a song for freedom on page 158.
Thank you.
prayer for Shabbat. Thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song in the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters the day.
So
rise for the Amidah, page 164. silently to page 180, either using the words of our Siddur, the words of your hearts. When you're done praying, I invite you to be seated.
Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu. Shalom Aleinu.
At this time in our service, our thoughts turn to those who need a bit of healing. And our synagogue community thinks of Zalman Ben Dina, Gabby Kraft Buckman, Jeffrey Carlin, Aaron Taylor, Susan Robb, Linda Rabino, Arlene Furman, David Bregman, Rabbi Rob Nestenchuk, Linda Simon, Neil Silverman, Deborah Linder, Susan Klein, Linda Fleischer, Don Hirsch, Ruth Bat Yosef Umiriam, Martin Ostroff, Sharon Neese, Pearl Weitzman, Summer Kurder, Rosalie Rapvogel, Bill Toscano, Lenny Silverman, Malka Aviva Batina Rivka, Mason Rockmore, Emily Tucker, Jeremy Canterman, Mike Condon, Jerry Barish, Erwin Rothwin, Nancy Rich, all those who are facing illness because of the coronavirus, and those we mention now. As my eyes meet yours, I invite you to say their names. If you're watching live, I invite you to type their names into the chat box as well.
Rick Heath, Anna Klein, Zachary Klein, Robert Stewart, Mason Stewart, Lisa Feld. Those recuperating from the trauma of the Tennessee tornado.
to join together. Our rabbinic intern was supposed to join us on our bima this evening, but she's joining us virtually, so she is going to share some words with us tonight. Those online can see her. Those in our community tonight can hear her.
There is a twisted irony in being an avid supporter of live streaming services and having this as my first time delivering a sermon via Zoom. I can hear Kafka laughing at me right now. This is a difficult sermon to deliver. Many thoughts have crossed my mind as the week has progressed, and I have ruminated time and again over what I could possibly say to our community to give even a small sense of comfort. I regret in our sermon delivery class that we were not taught about the intricacies of delivering speeches and sermons over Skype or Zoom. I miss looking out at the congregation, finding comfort in the smiling eyes and reassuring nods that I always encounter when I come to Temple Emanu-El. So now it is up to me to imagine. To imagine you all sitting before me, your eyes meeting mine as we give each other the comfort of community during this Shabbat. The human imagination is the most complex and extraordinary thing. It has led to incredible feats in every aspect of modern society in which we live, making what was once impossible an everyday, taken for granted possibility. However, the human imagination's endless capacity to envision every permutation of any one particular scenario comes with a distinct warning. The chemical reaction of imagination when it confronts the fear of the unknown may take us on journeys and inspire our actions in ways that expose the very real possibilities of defaulting to our human capacity to err, both ourselves and others. In just the past 72 hours, we have experienced the most rapid change of events, hitting ever more closer to home as our own national, state, city, and neighborhood borders have necessarily grown more pronounced. As individuals, we, in order to maintain the collective safety of our population, have been asked to draw borders around ourselves within the confines of our homes, walls of separation between body and body. Such a reality is not one I have ever imagined. So, I am scared. I live alone. I don't have cable. In my notes here, I said pause for laughter, so I'll just take it as everyone's laughing right now. I do not know where this will take us. And for the first time in a long time, I cannot even begin to imagine what next month, next week, or what tomorrow will look like. And all the while, this situation reminds us of something that this pandemic, in its global reach, has made strikingly clear, a core value that I often feel we too quickly forget in the hustle and bustle of our everyday lives: the recognition and respect for our shared humanity in the other. We are, after all, humans, and I do not know one single human on earth who does not at one point feel fear. If absolutely nothing else, every single one of the billions of people who exist on this earth have that in common. So even in the absence of any other comfort, we know that we are not alone. We're poignantly reminded that our community stretches to encapsulate the entire world. Now, to an unprecedented degree of a level never of us before, we're asked to think in a manner that is completely and utterly selfless, to realize the very real effects of our own actions, something as simple as remembering to wash our hands, that has the ability to preserve and maintain the safety of another human being, a human being whom we have never met or seen before, a person who is nonetheless dependent on us as part of a covenant that we share with them as we exist on earth together. Here at Temple Emanu-El, we value the covenant that we share as a community. Our temple will be reaching out to congregants to ensure that we continue to care for one another during this time. We've sent out emails asking for those who are able to check in with others, deliver meals, and volunteer in a number of ways. We ask that you continue to check your correspondence from the temple so that our community may continue to support each other as best as we can. The road forth will not be easy. We will have to adjust, accommodate, and reimagine. We will feel disappointment with all that we had hoped to happen in these next few months, especially those experiences that we have been looking forward to, some for our entire lives. Yet we must also remember that in the midst of this sobering reality, there is tremendous value and power in taking each and every step together. We are forced to reach within our souls and demand that we ourselves practice and live our Jewish values, those that are most divine and holy, values that even our biblical forefathers could only endeavor to embody. The ancestors of our Jewish tradition have relied upon the wisdom of these values for millennia. Now we are charged with the tremendous responsibility and honor of stepping in their shoes, ourselves becoming leaders in our own right. We have done so before in times of uncertainty and crisis. We must rest on our proven record of success. In the face of many a test throughout history, we have relied on this to propel us into doing so yet again. I screen before you, still imagining the smiling eyes and the reassuring smiles that you so often bestow upon me during Shabbat services in selfless generosity. Right now, I implore us all to stretch our imaginations beyond their limits, because it is with our collective efforts and the unpredictable beauty of our unique imaginative forces that we will continue to maintain this space as a sacred community, confronting the changes that we may encounter. As our Talmud teaches, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh V'Zeh, all Jews are responsible for one another. May we fulfill this responsibility with the fullness of our hearts, and remember that just as you care for the other, so too does our community care for you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We conclude our service on page 586. Please rise. Please be seated. Page 591. Rise up like the Son of God over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. If you are remembering a loved one, I invite you to write your name in the chat box, as well as I will recite the names that have died in the last 30 days. Beverly Getzberger, mother-in-law of Carol Lane, Amy Greenberg-Sierra, sister of Harlan Greenberg, Mona Ives, mother of Daniel Ives, Joy Camden, grandmother of Natalie Gallup, Alan Levine, husband of Michelle Rubin Levine, Amy Yaffe, wife of Rabbi Eric Yaffe, Sandy Schulman, mother of Darren Schulman and Charlene Glasser, Florence Stern, mother of Claudia Kringle. Remember the yahrzeit and anniversary of our loved ones' deaths. Alan Abrams, Patricia Alberts, Bobby Alderson, Theodore Arno, Adele Becker, Sheila Binder, Bessie Boydman, Solomon Buxbaum, Sarah Cates, Rose Churin, Morris Feigenbaum, Mary Hyman, Monty Freund, Anne Frumpkin, Willie Gelber, Leo Gerson, Samuel Gilman, Robert Gisser, Marianne Goldsmith, Helen Gordon, Vern Greenberg, Reba Gross, Arthur Gutman, Beatrice Harrison, Cindy Hecker, Isaac Heller, Jean Cannonsgeiser, Irene Cantor, Eileen Karnofsky, Irving Karp, Sela Kolminsberg, Ruth Crone, Shirley Kernis, Ben Landro, Mary LaBelle, Shirley Ruth Mann, Harry Mattman, Ron Maurer, Bessie Moskowitz, Samuel Moskowitz, Pauline Moss, Edward Noonan, Samuel Novick, Morgan Keachman, Sadie Pizer, Robert H. Pollock, Irene Popper, Lily Popper, Rita Popper, Sigmund Popper, Julius Rosenfeld, Leona Rosenkrantz, Francis Rubel, Betty Rubinson, Morris Rubenstein, Judith Beatrice Shackman, Arlene Schleitsinger, Saul Schran, Joyce Seltzer, Stanley Sugar, Lily Schulman, Edward Sills, Lou Silverstone, Mark Smith, Charles Soloff, Monroe Summer, Esther Stein, Rose Swerwin, Judah Tickton, Clara Tucker, Saul Waltz, Cindy Zilberger, and Martha Lottman. If you're remembering a loved one, I invite you to say their names now.
Kay Monty.
Francis Spiegel.
If you are in the first year of mourning or mourning a recent death, I invite you to rise and be recognized by our community. I invite the rest of our community to rise and turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. We read together. Yikadam, Yikadash, Shmei Rabbah, Yama, Dibrach, Rute, Yamikma, Kute, V'chayachon, V'yomechon, V'chayeh, V'chol Beit Yisrael, Agalav, Yisman, Karib, Yibru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah, V'barach, Le'olam, Amen, Amen. Yibarach, Yishabach, Yipahar, Yitramam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitarev, Yitalal, Shlim, Kusha, Ritu. Le'ilam, Yikol, Berkata, Shirata, Tushakata, Benechamata, Taliban, Yamam, Yibru, Amen. Yehi Shma, Rabba, Min Shemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu, Le'am, Kol Yisrael, Yibru, Amen. Osei Shalom, Rama, Huya Hasei Shalom, Aleinu, Le'am, Kol Yisrael, Amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us and all who mourn, and comfort the bereaved as together we say, Amen. Please be seated. Just a few quick announcements. We want to wish a hearty mazel tov to Kelly and Mike Cohen on the bat mitzvah of their daughter Savannah, and to Jennifer and Matthew Ketchke on the bar mitzvah of their son Joshua. We know that it will be a very special day, one that you will tell your kids about and your family for a long, long time. But we are so glad that we can celebrate with you tomorrow. Holy Scrollers, Torah meets tomorrow starting at 8:15 at the Lady House, with Simchat Shabbat at 9, as well as Saturday morning minyan at 9:30. You can join us for these, but these will also all be streamed. Please check out our website for links. We thank you to all who joined us, both virtually and those in the congregation. A special thank you to our choir and to Virgo for playing guitar and bringing the spirit in for this Shabbat. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for celebrating with us. Our closing song this evening is the Angel's Blessing. Please know that Temple Emanu-El is here for everyone. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to call. We are a strong and sacred community. We want you to know that we are here, and that we want you to wish you a healthy and joyous Shabbat. Joshua and Savannah, please join with me for Motzi. Please join us. Shabbat shalom.